boys and girls. Today we're going to be making a picture of an animal in their habitat. So we need to start by learning what a habitat is. A habitat is the home of an animal or a plant. 3 examples of a habitat could be the desert, the rainforest, or a polar habitat, meaning ice and snow, some sort of cold weather. So we have 2 parts. 1, we're going to create our habitat. 2, we're going to add our animal into the habitat. So the first thing that we're going to do is gather our supplies. Some things you'll need. Glue, if you have it. If you have any sort of magazine, you can use that. If you have any sort of cardboard, this brown color, you can use that. If you have construction paper, colored construction paper, that would be really good to use. You could even use paper towels, or I have this blue bag here. So gather a bunch of materials, something you can use to create your habitat with. So I'm going to start with my background, and my background is just going to be a white piece of paper. Now, if you had a colored piece of paper, you could use that. Oh, you might also want to grab scissors if you have scissors. So, here's my background. Now let's go back to habitat. I'm going to choose one of the 3. I think that I'm going to do the rainforest. So in order to start the rainforest, I need to draw the background. What does the rainforest look like? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking through my magazine for some green. Because when I think of a rainforest, I think of green. So I see some green here. Now I could use a scissor, but I don't have a scissor right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear it out. If you have a scissor, that's a better way of doing it, but here's some green. And here's some more green. And I'm just going to use this to create, it's actually called a collage. Here's some more green. So if you are making the desert, what color would you need to create a desert? Would you use orange? Brown? Whites? So I'm just flipping through, looking for more greens. And I don't have to fill up the whole paper. All right, let's just start here. I have a couple greens I could use. I can use my glue stick, or I can use, my glue stick won't open. I can use regular liquid glue. If you don't have glue at home, you could use tape, or you could just draw your things on here. I'm going to do a little bit of both. So I'm going to collage some things onto my paper, like some greens. And if I had a scissor, I might want to cut these into leaf shapes. But again, I don't, so I'm just going to use them like this. Okay, so when I think of the rainforest, I think about big leaves, some really bright flowers. So now I can maybe take some markers and draw some things on the top. So I'm going to draw some trees, tree trunks, maybe make a ground in my rainforest. Now you're following along to mine, but if you chose the polar or the desert, yours is going to look different than mine. If you have a desert, you might have cacti, or you might have mounds of snow and icebergs if you do polar, or a cave, right? All right, so I have some trees in my rainforest. Now I might add a bunch of green leaves. I'm going to put some leaves really up front here. That would be the foreground of my paper. So right now you're just creating whatever is going to go in front of your, or in back of your animal. So I'm drawing some leaves here, and I think I want my animal to be right in the middle. So I could color these in with a different color to add some variety to my picture. And you're going to go a lot slower than Miss Rogers here. What else could you add here? How would you make your picture different than mine? I could add some brown. Some brown for my tree trunks. Maybe a different color green for the ground. I could add some spiky kind of grass on mine. So spend some time creating your background, and then we'll work on getting our animal in there.